Hey there lovelies, welcome to my channel where we cover all things makeup. My name is Maddie and I'd love for us to be friends, so make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time that I upload a video and you don't miss a thing. Also, leave a comment in the comment section and just say hi. I'd love to get to know you all. In this video today, we're going to be covering everyday mom glam makeup. So the first thing that I always like to start off with is a color corrector, and this is Charlotte Tilbury's color corrector in Fair, because it always, covers these blue and purple circles that we have under our eyes, and even if it's from not enough sleep, or it could just be genetics, or it could be how your eyes are built and whatnot. So I always like to take just a little bit on my finger, and I like to put it right where the deepest, darkest color is so that it helps cover that up. And I like to use my finger rather than a brush or a sponge, just because it really warms up that product and works it well into my skin there. So you can already see a slight difference. It's not going to make this drastic, all of a sudden your dark circles are covered and gone, but it's just going to help that little bit there. That's what I do there, and I let that set by itself a little bit, and while I'm letting that set and kind of dry, I'm going to go in with my foundation. This is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation, and I do have kind of combo skin where I'm oily in my T-zone. Sometimes I can be dry on the outside, but the biggest thing is I actually have really sensitive skin. If you didn't notice, I have a lot of redness, I have pimples. My skin will flare up at the smallest thing, what I eat, the makeup that I wear, how I sleep. So really, I'm just always gonna have that texture on my skin. I'm just gonna take, I don't remember what, oh, this is shade 130 Opal. It does oxidize just a tiny bit and can be a little dark for me. So I actually like to go in with a really thin amount and then, blend it down my neck, because that's gonna help the shade match there. And also it's summertime here, and so that will help with the color. So I just squirt a little bit onto the back of my hand. You can use a makeup palette, whatever you like, and I just grab a little bit on my sponge. And I'm first gonna start here in the center of my face where I have the most discoloration that I want to cover up. Move my hair out of there. And then I work to the outer parts of my face where I don't have as much discoloration. If you notice, I'm using patting motions, and I'm not gonna swipe, because if I were to swipe, let me show you here, it just removes the product, right? So we want to tap where we want all of that product to go. Always handy dandy is to keep a little rag aside so you can wipe off any makeup on the back of your hand. Next, we're gonna go in with the Nars concealer. Mine is in Light 2 Vanilla. It's the Soft Matte Complete Concealer. As you can see, I really love this concealer. And again, I like to use my finger, just get a little bit there, and I like to swipe it there, and then there. Just in the darkest parts of my eyes. I don't like to put too much concealer around my eyes, because I found when I was first getting into makeup that I would just cake on the concealer like everyone shows. They just keep swiping and swiping. But I found I have so many lines around my eyes that if I do that, it looks really cakey and bad. So I put it in the parts I need it most, and then I just bring it out and blend it. I also bring it onto my eyelid for a little bit of coverage there to help just create this blank canvas. That's all we're trying to do, is create a blank canvas that's covered up the discoloration enough to where we can feel comfortable, and now we can start to go in with all of our other products and bring that color back to life. So because I do have oily skin, you know, in my T-zone especially, and because this foundation is radiant lifting, which it's really beautiful, but sometimes it can be a little too much, I'm gonna come in with just a little bit of powder. So I'm coming in with the Huda Beauty powder here, loose powder, and mine is in Poundcake. Really like this powder. So what I'm gonna do is I grab my puff, and I've already got some excess in here. What I'm gonna do is I'm first gonna come on just under my eyebrow, eyelid, and then, or on my eyelid, and then a little bit just in the corner of my eye. Because I have hooded eyes, and so my eyelashes really like to hit that hood right there, and so my makeup will transfer often. And so to help stop that, the powder really helps with that. And then I also just put it in the corner of my eye rather than all over under my eye like everybody else does. Because again, if I put too much powder and just makeup, it's gonna really emphasize all of that, all of those lines that I have there. So now I just tapped a little bit into the lid here, just a small bit. And I'm going to take my brush and I'm gonna swirl it in that cap. That way it's all evenly distributed on my brush. And then I'm just gonna slightly tap everywhere that I need. A little bit of oil control. And I don't like to go on my cheeks too much. I used to do that too, but I don't like to do that too much because I like glowy cheeks. I think they look youthful, and they just make it really fun. So from there, we're going to grab our highlighter. And this is a little technique that I learned a couple years ago. This is Lunch Money Super Shock highlighter from Colourpop. Very well loved and used. I like to put it under my blush, just right here in the high points of my cheeks. That way I don't have this stripe of highlight, right? And I'm just gonna put this, you know, and as you do these techniques or whatever works for you, you're gonna get faster, right? I can do this makeup look within 5-10 minutes when I'm getting ready for work. So there, we've got a little bit of glow, a little bit going on. And because this is an everyday glam look, that's why I'm not doing my eyes first. I'm doing the rest of my face so that I know when I go in with my eye look, I'm not gonna be too heavy, okay? So now I'm gonna go in with my bronzer, and this is just Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the color Bronzer. I'm gonna swirl our brush in there, and then we're gonna lift up our hair so that we get in our hairline and we're not creating any funny lines. I like to do a little bit on my cheeks and then on my forehead there. And then pull a little bit more on the other side. There we go. Now we're a little bit bronzed. Next trick that I like to do is I like to pinch my brush. I like to just kind of swipe it a couple times and swipe it down my nose. I'm not too particular on my nose contour because I like my nose. I don't think it needs contouring a whole lot. If I do it a whole lot, then it's gonna look really small and really funny. And then I just put a little bit under my chin there. And then an extra step that you want to do is you just take, see, an eyeshadow brush here. And this is just one that I got a Bestow off of Amazon. Comes in a big makeup brush kit or set, which is really nice. And then I just swirl a little bit in that bronzer, top off the excess. And because I have hooded eyes, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start up here on my hood and then just swipe over. And then a little bit in the corner there. So this just gives a little definition to my eyes. And the reason that I don't do it exactly in the crease is because it's going to just get hidden in that hood, right? So if I put it above a little bit, that's gonna bring that definition and hide that hood, push it back a little bit with that dark color. So again, I'm gonna do it on the other side, just some swiping motions and a little bit in the corner there. And there we go. And then, this is one of my favorite things to do. Back when Urban Decay's Moondust eyeshadows. Cowboy was so big, you know, like what, last year or something. I didn't get Cowboy. I got Cosmic, which is this white, like glittery one, and it's so pretty because it just gives this kind of iridescent, fairy, but sophisticated glow on the eye. And sometimes I like to bring it up just a little bit above, because I do have hooded eyes, so if my eyes are open, sometimes you can't always see the eyeshadow, and so I like to bring it up just a little bit so that you know it's there. And then one of my favorite products actually is the E.L.F. Expert Liquid Eyeliner in Jet Black. Liquid eyeliner is tricky, but it just takes practice. So whenever I pull it out of the bottle, I always first like to wipe off just a little excess so I don't get this big gloppy mess. Now with hooded eyes, the trick is that you have to look straight on, okay? If you look down or anything, your eyeliner is not going to work. And also, don't be too hard on yourself. Eyeliner is not going to be perfect every single time. Our eyes are not perfect. Our eyes are sisters, they're not twins. So we do our best here. So I'm gonna look straight forward, and I start out and I work in, and I just pull. And then I'm gonna use the side of the brush, okay, to get my strokes in, and I like to do a few strokes. I'm not very good at doing one big long stroke, and I also can't do this while I'm talking. And then if you saw, I had my eyes straight, and then I finished the line from that outside corner and I brought it to the inside there. So I'm just gonna hurry and do this other one. It's not perfect, and that's okay, because what the point of the eyeliner is mostly just to give a base to the mascara, okay? So now I'm gonna come in with my favorite, my L'Oreal Lash Paradise in shade Blackest Black. I really like to try and focus and get these outer corner lashes to help open up my eyes. And then a trick I really like to do is to come on top and kind of swirl and twirl, because it really coats my lashes and it makes a big difference. The only thing we're missing is blush. And the reason I did bronzer in my eyes first is so that I don't put too much blush on. It's really easy to put too much blush on. I'm going to be using RMS Beauty French Rosé blush. And first what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna tap. Tap, 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 tap. And that just gives the prettiest glow there and a little bit of color. And sometimes I like to put a little bit on my nose, a little bit on my forehead, a little bit on my chin, just to bring everything together. And for extra measure, I'm going to use the Haus Labs Bio Radiant Gel Powder Highlighter in Rose Quartz. It says it's a powder highlighter, but it's basically kind of a blush. But this is very, very pigmented. So this one, rather than tapping, because I don't want a bunch of color, I just want a swipe of color. And so I'm just going to swipe this where I want it. Now, nothing is finished without having lips done. Otherwise, we look kind of ghostly here. So you're gonna take your handy dandy little rag, and I like to wipe just around the edges of my lips because I want most of my lip balm on, actually, because it keeps my lips hydrated throughout everything that I am going to put on. So next I'm going to use the Bare Minerals Mineralist Lip Liner in Blissful Blush. And I'm going to line just my lips. I don't outline or overdraw or anything, because I think my lips are sized just right for my face. And I also wipe off the chapstick on the line of my lips so that the lip liner actually goes on. Now I'm going to be using NYX's Professional Makeup Soft Matte Lip Cream in shade Istanbul. And this is, I'm just going to swipe a little bit on there. Rub my lips together. And then any excess. And then if you want to go the extra step, I'm pulling out my favorite lip gloss, and I am not a big lip gloss fan, but this brand has got me back into lip gloss, and it's Lawless Forget the Filler lip plumping line smoothing gloss, and it truly is line smoothing. It is a little bit minty, but I wouldn't say it's too bad lip plumping, and this is the color in Daisy Pink. Now, when you pull it out, it is a little bit goopy here, and I'm going to wipe off actually this excess because I don't need too much. Otherwise, it makes it really goopy around my lips and everything. I'm just going to swipe that on. Okay, and there we have it, the finished look. Your everyday mom glam makeup look that you can wear to work, you can wear to dropping off kids at school, PTA meetings, soccer practice, whatever you've got going on in your life, you can throw on some makeup, feel good about yourself. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Please remember to like this video, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so that I can create more awesome content like this for you guys. I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!